Hey guys, welcome back to Tuesdays with Theodore. This week on Ambiguity we are talking about fashion and clothing, and I dress very androgynous, feminine, especially as of late. I've been dressing a little bit more feminine than I usually do. Obviously, style changes over time. There was a chunk of time, I don't know, maybe like a year or so ago, where I was dressing in predominantly clothing from the men's section, but right now I dress mostly in clothing from the women's section. I don't really feel all that comfortable going into the men's section to look for clothing for myself in I don't know, like mainstream brand name stores, whatever the stores you call that are like not thrift stores. I usually am more comfortable going into the women's section. I'm a lot more confident that I'm going to find something that fits me well, that I like in less time, because you don't really want to spend 2 hours in a clothing store. That's not fun. But in thrift stores and vintage stores and secondhand stores, I do shop more in the men's section. I feel like it's a little bit more free-for-all. People aren't really gonna judge you or give you a hard time if you're not in the section that they think applies to you or whatever. So I do get a lot of men's shirts from vintage secondhand stores and thrift stores. I really like button-ups and t-shirts with not logos, but patches or designs, screen printed designs. And if you are in the Toronto area, you probably have already checked out the black market, but if you haven't already, they always have a plethora of they have racks and racks and racks of printed t-shirts, and to be fair, a lot of them can be quite obnoxious or cringeworthy, but there's usually always something in there that I can find that I really like. I also alter a lot of my clothing myself. I'm not that comfortable with sewing, but I am making it a goal I want to learn how to sew a little bit better so that I can get patterns and fabric and make my own clothing, because I like having control over which fabric a piece of clothing is going to be made out of and exactly what details it has on it and stuff like that. So I do alter some of my clothing that I get from thrift stores. I make a lot of large men's dress shirts into dresses, and just little alterations that don't take too much too many brain cells. But my mom also sews, so occasionally she will ask me hey Theo, do you want a skirt? I'll be like, hell yeah mom, I love you. Nice. In terms of pants, I pretty much only wear 2 pairs of black jeans that are both from the women's section. I'm again not that comfortable going into the men's section to look for clothing for myself, and I haven't had any luck finding pants that fit me from the men's section. I'm really small, so I think that makes it a little bit more difficult. But to be fair, I haven't really tried that hard. I'm sure I would be able to find something if I really wanted to find a pair of pants from the men's section. But I have heard from other trans guys that I've talked to that H&M and Top Man are really good places to buy jeans that fit a little bit better. I know Top Man is really expensive, but if you felt like looking that up. Obviously, I haven't personally looked for jeans or pants in either of those places, but those are 2 recommendations that I have heard from other people who have had good experiences finding pants from those places. I hope that makes sense. I got a little lost there. Personally, if I wanted a pair of more masculine pants, I would probably stay in the women's section, but I'd probably look for the boyfriend cut jeans or whatever they're called, the ones that are meant to be men's jeans but are designed for women. I don't know what term people are using now, but I'd probably look for that style of jean because I would be more confident that it would fit me better and I'd be more comfortable in it than men's jeans. I don't know why, but I feel like I'd be really uncomfortable in men's jeans, but that's just me. Jeans from the men's section. I don't know why I'm saying men's jeans. They shouldn't be gendered. The jeans, the stuff that's from the section that's labeled men. In terms of figuring out sizes and things like that, like Levi said, I don't really care that much about shirt sizes. If there's a shirt that I like, I'll get it, even if it's 4 sizes too big. And I typically like my shirts, my button-ups and my t-shirts to be too big for me anyways, so that doesn't really pose much of a problem for me. But if you are concerned about shirts being too big from the men's section, then you can always look in the kids section. I've found some really good shirts in the kids section, and I mean that might be a little bit well, why are you sending me to the kids section? I'm not a kid anymore. Yeah, but the stuff there, you can really find some good shirts in the kids section, even though it is the kids section, and they do fit better. I have a few shirts from the kids section that are very nice shirts, and one of them is actually one of my favorite shirts. So there you go. And I mean, there might be a fleeting moment of awkwardness if you run into a 10-year-old who is wearing the same shirt, but really that just means that the 10-year-old has good taste, and everyone wins. There you go. I don't have a whole lot to say about accessories or shoes. I don't really have that much of an interest in accessories, so I don't like look for accessories like hats or jewelry or anything like that. I don't own any. I have like one black beanie that I wear in the wintertime, and that's the extent of my accessories. In terms of shoes, I wear my black Doc Martens pretty much 99% of the time. I also wear Converse and Vans, and in the wintertime I wear Timberlands. And those are all pretty gender neutral shoes for the most part, as far as my knowledge goes. I haven't really thought that much about the gendering of shoes, to be quite honest. That might be a really interesting topic of conversation though. But before I get too off topic, I think I'm going to end this video now. And I know that I probably didn't give that much good advice for someone who is looking for more traditionally masculine clothing or guidance in shopping in the men's section, because I don't really do that, but I hope that this was helpful to at least someone out there. And again, I just wanted to say that regardless of what clothing you're wearing, your gender is still valid and legitimate. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, your gender is on the inside. That got really fake deep. I think that's it, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I hope that you have a really good rest of your weekend. I keep messing up. Okay, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.